Good evening, guys. This is Manny Chopra here on the 9th of May at the Titans event. We're just kicking off in a few minutes, but I'm here with the man of the evening, none other than Scott Marshall. Welcome, Scott.
Manny, thanks very much indeed. Delighted to be here.
And of course, Claudine, the lovely, wonderful Claudine from Roma.
Absolutely playing second fiddle today, but I'm okay with that.
Right, guys. So, Scott,
yeah,
what's happening? The interest rates haven't changed.
No,
are you giving us any money or not?
They weren't expecting. I tried very hard, and you ejected me like every other girl in my life.
This is
apart from
factual
one.
information. He actually gave us £1 million to go and buy a bank in Henley.
Yeah, indeed.
We didn't take it.
True. That's true story. Got a better offer.
Well, on a more serious note, tell us a little bit about what's going on in this mortgage market. Obviously, longer, higher for longer and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. I'm going to cover this during the talk today. I'm going to talk about the UK economy. I'm going to talk about the global economy and some of the risks, as I perceive them, in the global economy that can impact the UK. I'll then talk about some of the opportunities that a countercyclical environment presents to property investors, property traders, property entrepreneurs. And then I'm going to do a bit of a curveball. I'm going to talk a little bit about how a customer, how a borrower should go about choosing a lender to work with.
As much as the lender chooses the developer.
100%. So what due diligence should you do as a borrower, an applicant, on the lender that's given you terms? Because not every lender is the same. Okay? And then I'm going to then talk about how we, as a lender, then go and underwrite the loans that we're looking to write. So in other words, what is the process and the mindset that we go through as a business when we're choosing who we want to do business with? And effectively, think about it, we're doing, say, 75% loan to cost, say.
Yeah.
Okay? We are a developer's majority business partner, and we've got to think of it that we are their business partner.
Yeah.
And they've got to think of it that we are their business partner. Yeah. So it's got to be a marriage that works well, not one that ends in divorce.
Absolutely no way. And of course, you guys are missing this talk right here. So for those who cannot see the opportunities in this volatility, what would you say to them? Like, where should they look? Because they're like, obviously, deals are not stacking. There's a higher cost of borrowing at the end GDVs. And I'm not sure you may know this or you may be aware. RICS valuers are downvaluing properties right, left and center. So there's this heartache at the end. So, what would you suggest? What should they do? Just hang on in there?
Yeah, so in my opinion, now is the time to do business, okay? Because you're right, valuers are downvaluing properties. Sellers are having to be far more realistic in terms of the prices that they're accepting for property. And you do your best business in a counter-cyclical environment because good people can buy better. So finance is more expensive, obviously. But actually, what we're seeing as a lender is that margins are being squeezed. So in terms of a cost of borrowing, it's actually a borrower's market at the moment. It is more expensive than it was pre the interest rate rises, but base rate has gone up 5,000%. That's not been reflected in the cost of debt.
Yeah.
Okay, and so yes, it does cost more. But right now, with the major house builders slowing down, there's a greater availability of materials, there's a greater availability of labour, and that means that a developer has actually got leverage to go and negotiate labour rates down, better prices on materials, because there isn't that much work around. Okay, and so now is the time to go and do business, because labour's cheaper, materials are cheaper, on a pro rata basis compared to base rate, borrowing is cheaper. So even if the GDVs, the end values, are coming down, actually developers are able to widen margins in the current climate.
And also, as you say, you're not going to sell at this climate unless you're desperate to sell, right? Because everyone knows it's not the seller's market for sure, it's a buyer's market. So you know where to find the motivated sellers. Get the best contractors, get at least 3 quotes, negotiate down, sit down with the contractor, maybe look at the detail, and then obviously come to the right company for a good borrowing agreement.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk about that tonight, about, what does a good lender look like? But ultimately, our customers, as well as ourselves, need to think forwards. So in other words, the deal that they're looking to do, the property they're looking to develop, the entrepreneurial flair they're looking to bring to a project, what they're doing and what they're developing, they've got to think, is it going into a liquid market? Okay, so is there going to be demand for someone to buy the end product if they're looking to sell?
Yeah.
Is there going to be demand for renting the property or properties out once the properties are finished? So that might be, are they near, just silly, obvious common sense things. Are they near schools, hospitals, roads,
Stations,
universities,
all of that.
stations? Those
usual
things.
stuff,
Usual
right?
stuff. It sounds obvious, but not everybody. It's not obvious to everybody.
Sure.
The other thing I'd say is that at the moment, with the kind of decimation of the high street, there are fantastic buying opportunities on the high street for commercial to resi conversions, and particularly where developers are thinking about what we call following the money. So if you see that a local authority is spending money, they're investing in their local town, pedestrianising, improving roads, putting their money in, then it's fine to go and wait until everything's spent and everything's busy, but by then, the properties are prices have
Much
gone up.
higher, yeah.
Get in there early, be a pioneer, be brave, and do business.
It's like you said, follow the risk, and the risk there has to be calculated risks taken in order to get the rewards at the end.
People think that business is all about sales. It isn't. Business is all about buying.
At the right market.
If you can buy well, you can sell well. And in the current climate, not only can you buy well, you can build well, you can renovate well, you can refurbish well. So even if the sale prices come off and you have to do deals to get rid of property, you're still widening your margins because you can buy so much better. But the reality is that the fundamentals are still the same in the UK, which is there are not enough property for too many people. There's not enough property for too many people.
And that's
therefore,
not going away, is it?
It's not going away anytime soon. So crack on, do business, and go for it.
And do you see what you've just said, you're reflecting in the market? So the developers are coming to you. Are they going for more commercial to resi loans? Are they doing more HMOs? Where are you seeing the traction come from?
I think both of those, if I'm honest, Manny.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of commercial to resi conversions, still a lot of pubs coming through, and lots of HMOs.
Evergreen, isn't it? HMO seems to be an evergreen strategy.
Are still
Tenants
a big strategy.
are out there ready to take on your product as soon as it's on the shelf, really.
Yeah, a lot of those. I'd say that's a big part of what we're doing at the moment.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for your time today. I'm really looking forward to your talk. And guys, Roma is here each and every month, so do come along at the next Titans event. Thursday, the 13th of June is always the second Thursday of the month at the Crown Plaza to meet obviously Scott might not be there, but the lovely and wonderful Claudine will be, and so will Charlotte. So do come along and meet them. And what's the best way to contact you guys?
Business cards are on the tables, but if you want to give me a call, it's 07731 966 171.
Say that again, slower.
07731 966 171.
And email?
Claudine.Reynolds at romafinance.co.uk.
And how do you spell Reynolds?
REYNOLDS.
Fantastic. There you go. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, guys.
Manny, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Very welcome.